thought this, actually, just on a whim. I don't know how many of you read this book. Now, you won't be able to see, but it's called The Diabetic Life by R.D. Lawrence. Now, hands up if you've read it.
I've got it.
You've got a copy, that'll count. So it was a society, but it is the minority, isn't it? It's by R.D. Lawrence. And this happens to be the 12th edition reprint with wartime supplement in it. And that's really rather unusual in itself. But I saved it from being burned. Now, I didn't know that librarians burn books, but this was going off to be burned as they were having a clear out from our local medical society. So I said, I wouldn't mind that. And so I got it. So it's still got the library sticker on it, but I haven't stolen it, honestly. I've rescued it, and I've got a receipt that I signed for it. So I thought, if I might just distract you for a minute by reading a couple of things out of it. And I was going to start with reading the bit about the preface to the reprint of the 12th edition by the man himself, R.D. Lawrence. You will all know that R.D. Lawrence was a doctor, and you will know that he eventually jointly founded the Diabetic Association, which became the British Diabetic Association, which became Diabetes UK, exactly so. So that was, he did have diabetes himself and was one of the first people in Britain to receive insulin. So what he says is, preface to the 12th edition, he says, I cannot let this reprint pass without a reference to the recent tragic death of Sir Frederick Banting, the discoverer of insulin. We diabetics know we owe our lives to him. No words can express our thankfulness and admiration for his life and work. Then he goes on to talk about the war. The war has brought many problems and some special difficulties to diabetics, mainly concerned with food rationing. They are dealt with in a wartime supplement at the beginning of the book, and I earnestly hope the need for it will pass before another edition is required. So that I thought was fun. So I thought I'd see what that wartime rationing was all about. Well, the first bit was about insulin supplies, etc. Diabetics, he says, can rest assured that in spite of some bombing losses, manufacturing problems, nothing on this, bombing losses, there are plentiful stocks of insulin in Britain, and the manufacture goes on as before. Now, some people manufacture insulin in Britain. True, distribution has been and may be temporarily upset, and it is wise to have a small stock of insulin, at least a month's supply in hand. Most diabetics have already seen to this, and there should be no sudden rush to hoard large stocks of insulin, as this is certain to cause a local shortage. And then he goes on to talk about price and different strengths and makes of insulin. It all comes around, doesn't it? A recent increase in price has occurred as the costs of producing pancreas, bottles, etc. have risen by 50 to 200%. Glass for insulin bottles is a difficulty, and empty bottles should be saved and returned to the chemist where new supplies are bought. Because, of course, the date of this was... Anyway, the increase in price is enormously different in the different strengths of insulin solutions, owing to the large part that glass and packing plays in the cost of production. Different strengths of insulin, it's all coming back to haunt us, but there you are, that was the war. Then it goes on about food, and here we are, emergency sugar ration. Of course, sugar was rationing, wasn't it? When diabetics are suffering from nausea and sickness, particularly likely to occur when threatened by acetone poisoning, brackets, ketosis, close brackets, they may be quite unable to eat their usual diet, but must take carbohydrate food to balance their insulin. Blah, 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 blah. Many diabetics carry lump sugar to eat in case of insulin reactions, but no special rationing provision is made for this. They should remember that similar quantities of glucose or boiled sweets are equally effective. See hypoglycemia management again. It's all the same stuff. So there we are. Preface to the first edition. I can't let this go without. It is the object of this book to bring the modern treatment of diabetes by diet and insulin within the scope of the general practitioner and the understanding of the patient, whose intelligent cooperation is necessary for the best results. The busy doctor has been apt to think accurate treatment too complicated and too time-absorbing for him, and has left the matter largely to specialists. But now sufficient knowledge has accumulated to make it possible to lay down simple rules of treatment without being too dogmatic. And he goes on to talk about the line of rationing diet and how useful that is. He says, I make no apology to doctors for writing a combined book for them and their patients, for the latter invariably come to know a great deal about their illness, at any rate where details of diet are concerned. Some chapters are written more especially for doctors and others for patients, but it is hoped that most of them will be helpful to both. So he goes on. But he makes a really dramatic statement in the next paragraph. 5 years ago, The Diabetic Death would have been a more suitable title for such a book as this. But now modern discoveries, particularly insulin, have completely changed the outlook. There is no reason why a diabetic should not, if he can be taught to do so, lead a long and normal life, so on and so forth. But there we are. So there's quite a lot of familiar things in a very different time and political context. It's pretty much relevant, I thought. So good. He goes on in the book. He mentions different sorts of insulin. And 4 years before this book was written, there was only one sort of insulin, basically soluble insulin or acid-soluble insulin. Okay, and this would have been beef, possibly pork at the time. And he mentions 2 new insulins. He mentions the Danish protein insulin, or retard, the Danish insulin. It sounds a bit like Hamlet, doesn't it? And he laments the fact that this only lasts 12 hours, so it has to be given twice a day. Okay. Whereas fortunately, zinc protein insulin, discovered in Toronto, acts easily for 24 hours, and so can be given once a day. Hooray! Yes, we've heard that recently too, haven't we? Anyway, so there we go. I did make the mistake of mentioning the presidential elections, didn't I, just a minute ago? And you'll be relieved to know that this is the last time I'll be speaking to you as chair of the organisation. But you will have a new chair, I assure you, in Belfast.